All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Dion's Daily Dose. Today, August 28th, 2020. My microphone here fell down a little bit, but I got it sorted. There's actually quite a bit to cover today. This is not as stable as I was hoping it would be, but all right. So, first off, Donovan had an absolute blast. We got to go and meet Michigan City's newest K9 officer. Share with you. Hi, Jack. Good to see you. I'll put this up there so everybody can see. Thanks for joining us, Jack. Let me show you. Yep. Okay. So let me get to it. Here it is. Edo is the name of the officer. That's not it. Where is, what the heck? That's bizarre. My sharing is not, that's weird. Hold on, give me 1 second. I don't know why it's doing this, but hopefully I can get it working. We got to go out to Bubbles today. They were having a meet and greet for the newest K9 officer of the Michigan City Police Department. His name is Edo, and it's officer. They told me, but I forgot whether it was Petrie. I think it's Petrie, but here's their post from back in March. They graduated from the Von Lich Kennels dual-purpose narcotic detector dog handler course. There we go. They began their training on February 17th, and for the past 6 weeks have undergone extensive training and certification with the outstanding training staff at Von Lich Kennels in Denver, Indiana. Officer Petrie and Edo successfully completed training and certification in the following topics: narcotics detection, tracker, handler protection, off-leash obedience, criminal apprehension, and article area and building searches. K9 Edo is certified in the detection of marijuana, cocaine, heroin, and methamphetamine. Officer Petrie is a 10-year veteran of the Michigan City Police Department. Prior to joining MCPD, Officer Petrie served 4 years in the United States Army out of Fort Stewart, Georgia, and served 2 tours of duty in Iraq. K9 Edo is a 1-year-old Belgium Malinois from Poland. K9 Edo will not only work with Officer Petrie every shift, but K9 Edo will also live at home with Officer Petrie. Officer Petrie and K9 Edo will work on shift 3, midnight shift, and the first shift together will be on April 1st. No joke. K9 Edo is our second K9 at MCPD. We also have Officer Mike Oberly and his partner K9 Axel. So I wanted to share that with you first. And this is Donovan, Officer Petrie, and K9 Edo. They had, like I said, a meet and greet today at Bubbles, and Donovan wanted to go out, meet him. Obviously extremely well behaved. You got to be careful because the ball, right? He's very, very attached to his ball, and when he drops it, he lunges for it. So don't get in the way of him and his ball. That said, Donovan really, really had a great time. He got to pet him, and there he is. See, he loves that ball. I have a couple other things to share with you today. I don't know if you saw this, ladies and gentlemen, but the United States Secret Service today put out an interesting tweet. It said, "Did you know that on this day in history, Congress passed legislation making it a federal crime to assassinate the president?" That actually goes with a whole lot of stuff that's been happening today. I don't know if you saw, but Senator Rand Paul was attacked, right? Surrounded, right? He's absolutely certain that were the police not there, that he would have been attacked. He was screamed at, etc. We are seeing a ramp up in the violence across the nation. As a matter of fact, there have been even people that have come out to endorse President Trump. 6 governors in Minnesota put out a letter, August 28th. Fellow Americans. As Greater Minnesota mayors from Democratic cities on the Iron Range of Minnesota, we write today to formally endorse the election of President Donald J. Trump and Vice President Mike Pence. Like many in our region, we have voted for Democrats over many decades. We have watched as our constituents' jobs left not only the Iron Range, but our country. By putting tariffs on our products and supporting bad trade deals, politicians like Joe Biden did nothing to help the working class. We lost thousands of jobs, and generations of young people have left the Iron Range in order to provide for their families with good-paying jobs elsewhere. Today, we don't recognize the Democratic Party. It has been moved so far to the left, it can no longer claim to be advocates of the working class. The hardworking Minnesotans that built their lives and supported their families here on the range have been abandoned by radical Democrats. We didn't choose to leave the Democratic Party. The party left us. I want to finish the letter and then interject. Yet 4 years ago, something wonderful happened. Donald J. Trump was elected president of the United States, and he stood up to China, implemented tax cuts, and fought for the working class. Now, 4 years later, the Iron Range is roaring back to life, and for the first time in a very long time, locals are hopeful because of this president's policies and willingness to fight for us. Lifelong politicians like Joe Biden are out of touch with the working class, out of touch with what the country needs, and out of touch with those of us here on the Iron Range and in small towns like ours across our nation. In this election, there is a lot at stake, but the biggest risk is our jobs, our economy, and our way of life. President Trump delivered the best economy in our nation's history, and President Trump will deliver for us again. He will continue to fight for every American, regardless of party affiliation, and continue to stand up for the working class. Today, we write to formally endorse President Donald J. Trump and Vice President Mike Pence for 4 more years. Larry Cuff, Mayor of Virginia, these are all Minnesota. Chris Swanson, Mayor of Two Harbors. John Champa, Mayor of Chisholm. Robert Vlasilievich, Mayor of Eveleth. Chuck Novak, Mayor of Ely. Andrea Zupancic, Mayor of Babbitt. Ladies and gentlemen, there are a couple of lines in there that I believe are just absolutely on point. I've heard this from Democrats all over the country. Many of them spoke at the RNC, as a matter of fact, saying that we didn't choose to leave the Democratic Party. The party left us. I'm hearing that over and over and over. The Democrat Party of my childhood even is gone. It's a shadow of its former self. It has gone as far left as possible without officially endorsing anti-American policies, but they are certainly walking the line. I haven't heard, look, even CNN is saying, you guys need to disavow the violence because the polling isn't going well. Because that's what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. It's about the polling. It's about the numbers. They don't care about American lives, American businesses. They don't care about American cities, towns, citizens. They care about the numbers. They care about power. They care about getting back into power. That's what it's about. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. You know as well as I do what the game is here, what the end game is that's going on. I'm going to say this. My subscribes to the same far left policies that are destroying this country from one end to the other. My opponent is as far left as you can get. Their heroes are these far left governors, mayors, Chicago Mayor Lightfoot, who tells you that she deserves to be safe and has an entire squad of police cars on her block. But it's not okay for you to be safe. She's not going to stop the violence until it comes to her home. It's good for you, but not for them. We've seen this over and over, and that is what I am fighting for. I am fighting to change that, to flip this district. For someone who cares about areas outside of just Michigan City. I live in Michigan City. I love Michigan City, but 9th District is bigger than just MC. I need your help. I hate asking for money. I hate putting it out there, but I really do need your assistance this election. If you can spare a few dollars, go to my website, click on my WinRed link, my donate link. It's the same fundraising platform that President Trump uses and the official fundraising platform of the Republican Committee. 100% safe, secure. If you're still not comfortable doing anything online, mail something, right? My address is right there on screen. Dion Bergeron for Indiana, 1018 Providence Street, Michigan City, Indiana, 46360. I got the shipment of Trump signs, Trump 2020. Those are ready. $10 minimum donation, and you get a sign and the holder, the stake, right? Metal. It's a sign, so someone wants to smack it or whatever, it'll hold up. It's not like the little plastic bag signs. My concern for those is they're just too easy to destroy, and we've seen the destruction across this country from one end to another. We have seen what people do. And no one cares about private property anymore. No one cares that you're not supposed to do that. They are heralding people who, you know, I'm not even going to get into that because that's going to derail the show. But I'm going to tell you this. It is on us as parents to instill in our children right and wrong. It is on us to teach our children to respect law enforcement, to interact with them, to be polite. And if you have a disagreement, that's what court is for. I have had the discussion with my children several times. Look, I'm former law enforcement. I was a correctional officer. But I still tell my children, the first thing you say is, I'm underage. I want my parent. That's it, right? There's nothing wrong with that, but you can still be respectful. You can still talk like a human being to the officer because the officer is out there trying to do their jobs. I am not going to bash all police for the actions of a tiny fraction, just like I'm not going to bash honest protesters for the actions of rioters. What gets me is the people that want to say, oh, all cops are bad. Now, this is not from me, but people that say, well, all cops are bad. But those weren't rioters. It was a tiny tiny number of rioters that destroyed things. It was mostly peaceful protests. Do you hear yourself? Do you honestly hear what you are saying? And this is what I'm talking about, right? Hypocrisy. And that's what we are seeing all up and down this country. I know there are those of you who may not be the biggest fans of Donald Trump, but I'm going to tell you, after seeing the DNC and the RNC conventions, I am convinced the America that we know and love, the America where anyone can rise from horrible, horrible childhoods to become a contributing member of society will be gone. The America of equality where you are not judged for the color of your skin, but for the content of your character will no longer exist if the Democrats take over. Everything is racial. Everything is geared towards an agenda. I may not agree with everything Donald Trump says, and I've talked about that before. I may not agree with some of the things he's done regarding the Second Amendment, but I am convinced now more than ever that there is only one way forward. And let me be clear. I support Donald Trump. I support the president. I have disagreed with him on occasion, but there is no way that this ticket, Biden-Harris, is going to usher in prosperity. It is going to be a step backwards. A step backwards. And you know what? In a far left direction. It's going to be more than just, let's go back to Obama, because there have been analysts, right? And I try to keep up on the news. I try to read what's out there and what people are saying. There have been analysts who said, you know what? If Biden had come out and said, I just want to go back to Obama's way that it was, right? I reinstitute this and I would roll back that and I would put it just the way it was. I think he would have a much better chance, realistically. Thankfully, for people who like Trump, that's not what he's saying. He's going all in. He's jumping full, both feet in to the lefty pool, for lack of a better term. And holy cow. But moving on, I talked today to some small business owners, and I mentioned that I'm running for state rep, and they asked who the current state rep was, and I told them. And they said, I had no idea, because this person doesn't go out and meet the people. This person hasn't done anything as state rep. I told them our current state rep voted against lower health care for Hoosiers, voted against blue chip casino. And one of the people that I was speaking to said, brought up something that I personally agree with them. I tell you, they were like, okay, that's all well and good, and I understand what you're saying, but what are you going to get? Are you going to get anything done with Highway 20? And I'm like, you mean the incessant construction? Yes. Construction has been going on consistently now for the last 3 years in a row, I believe. I read a post, and it certainly lines up right in my mind. At Johnson Road and Highway 20, at Woodland and Highway 20, there are massive bumps right there from where they laid new pavement down. They haven't done anything about it. It's been there for, a month now. And Highway 20 just incessantly seems to stay under construction. So I told them, I said, yeah, that's something that's going to get worked on, because this is, just as a resident, how infuriating is it for 20 to be constantly, like, they might pick the barrels up and move them down the road a little bit, but that's all that ever happens. That's all that ever happens. So a couple other real quick things I want to show you, and then we'll wrap it up. I had some family photos taken, and I'm going to be honest. I'm very critical of myself. I'm not loving them. I'd like your opinion. This is the family photo that I'm thinking about using for the palm card handouts. What do you think? Do you think that this is a great photo, an okay photo, or yeah, you probably shouldn't use that one? Let me know in the comments. I'm still debating whether or not I want to utilize that or not. Thinking about putting it as my background instead of the State House on my campaign page as well. This is the family photo, and then we have these are my kind of close up pictures. I don't know, but like I said, I'm my own worst critic, so I'm not I'm not sure. I don't know. Again, like I said, here, I'll go through them again. Let me know if you like these, if you think maybe they're not the best. This one right here, just kind of, I don't know. I don't like the look on my face. It's kind of creepy to me. I don't know. But let me know what you think. Trying to make some determinations here as to what I'm going to use. I personally, I still think that my picture that I took in the LaPorte County Courthouse in front of the door is probably my best single photo. That's really about it. I'm gonna tell you, we really have to get out there and make things happen this election. And I'm not just talking about me. I'm not just talking about Trump. I'm talking about all up and down the ballot. We have to get patriots elected. We have to work to make sure that these people get into office and that the lifelong career politicians do not continue to run things. And I'm gonna lay it out there. I am not perfect. I am absolutely certain that I will make some mistakes, but I will admit when I screw up. I will tell you, look, I made a mistake. I did this. Probably shouldn't have done it, but this is what I did because I'm human. There is no perfection in humanity. And I think that's really what it comes down to for me, is you see these politicians that here's an example for you. Who was it? I'll have to check my Twitter. Give me just 1 second. There was a politician that sent out a tweet from an RNC speaker. Let me find it real quick. But the point is, they said something really, really dumb, and it was, when they got caught and they realized, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Here it is. They blamed an intern. Here it is. Okay. So, yeah, it was a Democrat strategist deletes tweet dismissing Nikki Haley as a white woman. So she tweets out because Nikki Haley was talking about how, racism really, wasn't that big of a deal anymore. We've come so far if people would stop feeding into it. And then she deleted it and said, it was an intern who said that. And I'm going to tell you that this is why I do my social media. I might not be able to put a ton of stuff out there. I might get a little behind, only a few, posts or tweets here and there. But I don't retract and I don't delete unless I make an obvious error in something. If something can be proved, hey, I'll let people know, hey, I screwed up, right? So that's where we're at. And accountability. That's what it's about. And we have to start getting people into office that can be held accountable for the things that they say and the things that they do. Visit my website, DionBergeron.com. Sign up to help. Text me. Text me. Call me. Hit me up on Messenger. There are tons of things that can be done and ways that you can assist. Email me, talk@DionBergeron.com. Don't forget to follow me on social media at Dion for Indiana, both Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Although I really should be more on Instagram. I'm going to be honest, Instagram is just, I don't know. I guess it's not my thing. I don't mind it, but it's really hard to know what I should be putting out. Facebook, a little bit easier. Twitter, obviously, yeah, no problem. If you have a few dollars, listen, if you can't afford your bills, if you can't afford your rent, your gas, your food, there was some politician, right, that was like, fast and send me extra money. That's not me. That's not me. If you can't pay your bills, pay your bills. Don't send money to any politicians. If you have a few extra dollars, I could really use it. It would really help me out. We can do a lot on social media. We can do a lot with getting the word out there, getting the things that we need. I would appreciate that. And I plan on letting you know everything that I do with any money that you do send. The stuff is public, right? The campaign stuff is public. I have an actual bona fide treasurer this time who knows what they're doing. Thank you, Shannon. So there's that. But that's it. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to me rant. And we're going to start going with a little bit different format coming up. I want to start getting more guests on. I have not heard back from, I think his name is William Henry. Yeah. The guy running on the Libertarian ticket with Donald Rainwater for governor. I also had my people reach out to Ms. Suzanne Crouch to see if she could come on. I have not heard back from that yet either. Will Henry, we kind of traded messages back and forth, but that was it. Hopefully we'll get in touch and get something going because I'd like to have a conversation with them. There are a few other people that I've got the feelers out, and again, hopefully we can get that lined up for you because I think it'll be a good time. So thank you very much for joining me. God bless you.